A very good evening to you all and welcome to News Tonight here on UBC TV this Monday, the 8th day of January 2024. First though, let's have a look at our top stories. In our top stories tonight, Prime Minister Nabanja tasks local leaders to be visionary and transform their areas. Police links the gun used in killing Pastor Bujingo's bodyguard to the assassination of Olaxes. Kampala road infrastructure reaches 81% completion ahead of the NAM summit. And in sports, Uganda's 9-year-old Seba Tindira qualifies for African Games. Hello there and welcome once again. We are coming to you live online and on air from Broadcast House here on Nile Avenue. On sign language, it is Elizabeth Nakakoni and I am Rukidi Kijjanangoma. Now, President Yoweri Museveni has bid farewell to Miss Elsie Atafwa, the outgoing United Nations Development Program UNDP representative at his home in Rwachtura, Chiruhura district. During the meeting, President Museveni commended Atafwa's contributions to national development and outlined areas for future collaboration. He acknowledged the breadth of the UNDP's work in Uganda, but suggested a greater focus on skills development and environmental protection. He emphasized the potential of targeted interventions in these areas to deliver tangible benefits for the nation. Atafwa appreciated President Yoweri Museveni's leadership and support, particularly during the COVID-19 pandemic and in promoting trade initiatives like the Africa Continental Free Trade Area. She also showcased several UNDP achievements during her tenure, including establishing an innovation hub with Makerere University, refurbishing the National ICT Center and equipping 200,000 youth with vocational skills to improve employability and entrepreneurial potential. Meanwhile, the Presidential Press Unit (PPU) wishes to inform the general public that His Excellency the President of the Republic of Uganda, His Excellency Yoweri Museveni, who is also the Commander-in-Chief of the UPDF, will brief the nation on the progress of operations against the ADF, terrorists and other security-related issues. That the briefing is scheduled for Tuesday, the 9th of January 2024 at 8 p.m. Now, the President will deliver the address from his country home in Rwachtura, and it will be broadcast live on all radio and TV stations as well as online platforms. President Yoweri Museveni, who was represented by Vice President Jessica Alupo, joined the Catholic faithful of Kigezi region to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Rushoroza Parish, which he called the cradle of Catholic faith in Kigezi region. The President commended the missionaries for effecting spiritual and physical needs, including pioneering the establishment of institutions such as schools and hospitals, saying that by doing so, they emulated the example of Jesus Christ, who earned his bread by working alongside his earthly father, Joseph, as a carpenter. The Vice President, Jessica Alupo, delivered President Museveni's cash donation of 50 million Ugandan shillings towards the preparations of the day.
Rusoroza Catholic Diocese has celebrated a century of unwavering faith, drawing thousands of devoted Christians, including others from different faiths, students, political and religious leaders at the cathedral grounds to commemorate the centennial celebrations since the cathedral was established in November 1923 with two fathers, Lan and Nicolette. The colorful celebrations are atop the beautiful lush green hills themed "Stir Up the Faith That You Received," taken from 2 Timothy chapter 1 verse 6. Started with Mass led by the Papal Nuncio Luigi Bianco, assisted by the seasoned Bishop Calliste Urbaramira. Marked by joyous singing and dancing, amidst a crowd of jubilation, the religious leaders preached on faith, reflecting on endurance of their 100 years of existence. In his opening remarks, Bishop Calliste Urbaramira thanked God for the gift of faith and asked all the Christians to keep that fire of faith burning, and cautioned those in leadership positions not to take their responsibilities for granted. He encourages them to remain steadfast in their roles, leading by example and serving as beacon of faith to their communities. President Yoweri Museveni, who was represented by his Vice President Jessica Alupo, joined the Catholic faithful of Kigezi region to celebrate their 100th anniversary of Rusoroza Parish, which he called the cradle of Catholic faith in Kigezi region. In his speech read for him by his Vice President Jessica Alupo, President Museveni said that the founding of Catholic faith here ushered both spiritual and material transformation in Kigezi region and helped to instill good morals among the faithful, planted the fear of God in people's hearts, and cultivated the practice of good neighborliness in the communities. The President thus rallied the faithful to embrace the wealth creation campaign of the NRM in order to create jobs and eliminate poverty at the household level.
I want to bring you very warm greetings from His Excellency General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, the President of the Republic of Uganda, Yabaramusha, and greetings also from Mama Janet Kataha Museveni, the First Lady, and the Minister of Education and Sports, Nawe Abaramusha. Let me now read the message of His Excellency the President. I join the Catholic faithful of Kigezi region to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Rusoroza Parish. The scriptures show us that besides fasting and prayer, Jesus also healed the physical ailments of the blind, the lame, the lepers, and the deaf, etc. He also earned his bread by working alongside his earthly father Joseph as a carpenter. Jesus was not a passive bystander or a spectator in the development process of his society. He worked for both the spiritual and socio-economic uplift of society. This is what all Christians must emulate. Therefore, the Christian ministry should not be limited to spiritual evangelism. It should also cater for the material needs of the people. I urge the religious leaders to mobilize the faithful under their stewardship to embrace the wealth creation campaigns of the NRM government in order to create jobs and eliminate poverty at the household level.
Recently, the Uganda People's Defense Force erected a monument in honor of President Museveni for his consistent and undisputed role in awakening the masses to embrace wealth creation. The President donated 50 million towards the occasion, where 150 million was realized in cash and pledges.
The Prime Minister, Right Honourable Robina Nabbanja, has asked local leaders to be patriotic and visionary in order to transform their areas. Nabbanja made the call while meeting leaders from the sub-counties of Mwitanzige, Kitaihuka, Birembo and Igayaza Town Council at her country home in Kakumiro district. Take a watch.
Nabbanja says as leaders they need to be visionary and develop big plans to succeed in life. She says that the love for the country is paramount in the socio-economic transformation agenda.
Tukubasaba mwerinde mube abesigwa omutima gwihanga baleme kuleta ekidomolo kyemotoka ekyamafuta kikuja kulima oluguudo lwawe kandi kyamaniwe okaboleko omuhanda akakubagambireke.
The Premier briefed the leaders that she has been conducting such meetings to assess the delivery of government services and also plan better.
Nkubasaba mutekane mukole oyo obakarabaraba ani alukolaki ani akolaki.
Haji Abi Mukwaya, a senior presidential advisor on political affairs, says that government services are not being felt on the ground.
Government bonna musasula sente okuva ku kaawu okutuuka ku wamuluka bwe bakyalimu obuzibu. Obuweereza bwabwe bulemerawa tebamanyi bo nti baweereza bammwe kyekizibu kyabwe.
Fred Byamukama, the State Minister for Transport, who is also the Bugangaizi West MP, asked the people of Kakumiro to support the NRM government and President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni for continuity of development.
Percentage gende mukienda na muenda kwa munywana omulekereka beta 0.5 obutamusiwazi abo okuba alima kuja kutikinga na mugonza muno atikinga akaruka nabe n'ekipapula kitemuke.
Aisa Gaba, the Bugangaizi East Member of Parliament, decried shoddy works, especially in roads, and asked those responsible to work on the spotted gaps.
Kandi buli kilomita niwo wamurya babiremba niwo wabajya Igayaza no wabajya wa Kiteyuka orugudo ruraza kuja kugwa mujye bubwire pa kilomita rurukujya sente ziringana ingana ka miliyoni 9.5.
The Prime Minister has so far met leaders from 15 sub-counties with the objective of assessing the status of service delivery for improvement.
Now, police have linked the gun used in the killing of Richard Muhumuza to the assassination of Ismail Laxes in 2023. Led Muhumuza, a former bodyguard of Pastor Bujingo, was in the vehicle that was riddled with bullets by unknown assailants. Police have put a 20 million shillings reward for anyone with information regarding the suspects.
The police have linked the firearm used in the attempted murder of Pastor Aloysius Bujingo and the killing of Richard Muhumuza to the cold-blooded assassination of vlogger and critic Ismail Laxes, who was shot dead while on his way home.
Would be interested in the killer weapon since we have already information that links it to the murder. There are very similar patterns in the murders of the bodyguard and the murder of Laxes.
Police have also put a 20 million cash bounty for anyone with information regarding the attackers on Pastor Bujingo.
We are also appealing to whoever has any information that may lead to the identity and arrest of the suspects, as well as the successful recovery of the killer weapon of a pistol, to pass over that information in confidence to the Special Investigations Division at CID headquarters in Chibuli.
The police spokesperson states that the Special Investigation Division in Chibuli has taken over the investigations and the management of the case.
What we've noticed is that the internet, social media netizens, propagandists are all awash with all sorts of versions and fringe statements which are quite absurd. So many people, including families who lost their loved ones under similar tragic circumstances are hurt.
While investigations continue, the police have obtained witness statements, forensics and ballistic reports, post-mortem reports, CCTV footage from both police and private cameras. Ivan Kahwa and Rogers Komagum, UBC News.
Uganda is 98% ready to host the NAM and G77 plus China summits. The head of public diplomacy, Minister of Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Dr. Sam Omara, says by Friday this week, Uganda will have achieved the remaining 2%. To date, 120 delegations have confirmed participation, with 3 delegates being observer groups. 25 ministers of foreign affairs have confirmed participation. Now, as regards media accreditation, 98 international journalists and 273 local journalists have so far been accredited, and the exercise is still ongoing. In addition to getting accreditation for the 2 summits, journalists covering different venues will be issued with an overlay tag, which they will have to return every day. Hotel Africana is the main media center, and accordingly, office space and some equipment like computers have already been put in place, but these are basic.
What I would hasten to add is that accreditation of journalists is still ongoing, and that number is definitely going to change by Wednesday, when we hope to close accreditation of journalists. There are some who will be coming early, then there are some who will be coming when the summits are ongoing, and then there are others who will be coming to cover the closing ceremonies of the 2 of Non-Aligned Movement Summit, as well as the Third South Summits. So the accreditation will be continuous, and there will be a particular desk at Hotel Africana where journalists can go and be accredited physically. The local process ends on Wednesday. I think journalists can possibly begin picking their badges around the 14th, when the center at the media center is supposed to open. So either on the 14th or on Monday 15th, and then it will be continuous. When you report, then you can pick your accreditation tag. Ability will be through accreditation, and this is for security purposes. But those who have been accredited will then be given overlay badges, and those badges will allow you access to the summit venue. There will be shuttle buses that will be taking journalists, for instance, from the media center at Hotel Africana to the summit venue on a daily basis. And on each day, as you travel, the media liaison officer will be able to give the journalists who come with the equipment.
Ambassador Omara clarifying there in as far as accreditation for journalists covering the NAM and G77 plus China summits are concerned. Meanwhile, Kampala is at its point of transformation following ongoing road projects that prepare the city for the upcoming NAM and G77 plus China summits. Now, these infrastructural projects are testimony of efficiency of the city and a new chapter for the city as a global destination. We apologize for that, but that story is not yet ready. We'll give it to you when it is ready. But moving on, with only 6 days to the 19th Non-Aligned Movement Summit in Munyonyo, Uganda is all set to host her guests. The Non-Aligned Movement consists of 120 countries across Africa, Asia, Europe, and Latin America. Uganda's role in this summit underscores its growing influence on the global stage, as we hear in this story.
At a time when the world contends with challenges arising from emerging power centers deviating from traditional global blocs, discussions at the NAM summit will shape diplomatic discourse. We had a word on the streets with different NAM roots users, and these were their views.
Ever since the start of the year, business has been going so well. Before the road works, there used to be a lot of traffic jam, but it's all now history. This road used to be too congested before. The time we used to spend in the traffic jam now covers 3 trips of customers.
With the ongoing roadworks, businessmen say the roadworks affects their normal day-to-day business.
Ezenkungana zitukoseza ffe nnyo nga bannayuganda bo gavumenti nga yo agenda kufunamu naffe omuntu wa wansi ffe nga ffe tetufunyeemu bato ate ffe tukoseddwa bukosebwa.
These summits have affected us as Ugandans. The local person has got more harm than good from this.
Abali mu gavumenti kintu kimu kye babatuyamba abagenyi bajja muno.
We request those in government to not push us away during such preparations.
Abagenyi bajja basange ewaabwe nga bateredde okusinga ate ffe abawansi otunyigirize nnyo kati olaba nze bino ebintu mbikola n'okuva omwaka we gwatandika tukoze bukozi rose tetuna kye tufunyeemu.
The summit theme, Deepening Cooperation for Shared Global Affluence, the Kampala summit is perceived by experts as a reflection of Africa's growing influence at the international stage. Mariona Wori and Juman Samba for UBC.
Juman Samba and Marion Awori, thank you for that story there. And of course, you can never please everybody in this world. Now, according to the Honorary Consul of Indonesia in Uganda, Paresh Shukla, the hosting of the Non-Aligned Movement and G77 plus China summits come with a basket of opportunities, including showcasing the potential of the Pearl of Africa. His Excellency Paresh Shukla also testifies to the fact that hosting NAM automatically sells out Uganda's image to the outside world.
Your Excellence, this is still UBC TV, and we are very much obliged and happy to be interacting with you on this day. Well, the topic we are trying to get the insights from different, especially participating countries, is the Non-Aligned Movement Summit coming in January 2024, and probably the G77 plus China summits. Like, as of today, we are still looking at the preparations, but as we prepare as the host country, Uganda, our local people here are still asking, what is NAM all about, Your Excellency? This is a question I want to begin with to you.
Thank you. My name is Mr. Paresh Shukla. I'm a Ugandan. I live here. I've lived here all my life. I'm a third generation Ugandan of Asian origin. And I want to thank Honorable Harry and country Indonesia for choosing me to represent Indonesian interest into Uganda. NAM Summit, G7 Summit, put them together there are 135 member countries that are part of this. And we believe that most of those countries are going to represent with their sizable delegation, if not their head of states. And we hope that the head of states actually do come, and we want all of them to come with their delegations, with their business delegations, to experience our country, to see what Uganda is all about. We have said that Uganda is Pearl of Africa. But we just have to bring this together, identify now that the NAM Summit will bring in so many head of state, so many business delegations, how we can showcase our own things to them and tell them that these are the things that we can sell to you, so please start buying from us. And I'm sure that they will want to buy because we are organic. We don't mix fertilizers or a lot of other things which the whole world is now, mixing to produce their crops. Because our population, I think in '86, we were only about 7-8 million people. Today we are nearing to 50 million. So we all need to be, doing something meaningful for us to add value to our country and to the rest of the world. Thank you so much.
Well, for the youth, you have heard the NAM Summit is not bringing any coin onto your table, but they are coming with a basket of opportunities. It all goes back to us on how we are going to prepare ourselves, either through our leaders or ourselves as individuals. We march to Munyonyo and present what we feel is the future for our country. This is UBC.
Indeed, many opportunities abound as far as those two summits are concerned. Now let's go to that other story which we had earlier on introduced about the Campala Flyover. And it is said that Kampala is at its point of transformation following ongoing road projects that prepare the city for the upcoming non-aligned movement and G77 plus China summits. Now, these infrastructural projects are testimony of efficiency of the city and a new chapter as a global destination.
The Campala Flyover project is a road improvement project in the Central Division of Kampala, the capital city of Uganda. The project involves the construction of flyovers at the Clock Tower and at Kitugum House, the widening of Nsambya Road and of Mukwano Road, including the improvements of interfacing roads and conjunctions. The project stretches over an estimated 3.5 kilometers. The ongoing roadworks make Kampala a smart city for Ugandans as we prepare for the guests to attend the Non-Allied Movement Summit and the G77. These routes are Kampala Flyover, Munyonyo Road and Entebbe Road, all about to be completed with measures for safety, including the installation of security CCTV cameras and tunnel lights.
We have a camera which is above us here, which is focusing directly onto the underpass and also onto the overpass where there is a turn for vehicles going to Nsambya. And also on the other side, as you're coming from Mukwano, there is also another camera which also focuses inside the tunnel. And the safety of the underpass is pedestrians are not allowed to use the underpass, and cyclists are not allowed to use the underpass. That is how safe the tunnel is.
In a recent discussion with the staff at Kampala Flyover, we learned that the Kampala Flyover stands at 81% completion.
Workers on this project from different walks of life, just because for employment, and this has drawn close people that have benefited from the project in terms of setting up businesses for survival and targeting incomes from the project workers. To mention, we have food vendors, we have restaurants that surround us and that are feeding the workforces. We have service providers that serve us with food. We have service providers that supply the project with materials, and all those have been because there has been a good working relationship, that is to the community.
Despite challenges faced during the project establishment, Campala Flyover promises business opportunities to the surrounding community, particularly those providing essential services to the workforce.
The locality is within the center of the city with a lot of vehicular traffic, border traffic, which at times are adamant that they will not adhere to the traffic management plans of the contractor, and at times which has caused some delays at some point.
This road project is intended to decongest the city by separating through traffic from the city street traffic and the traffic entering the city. Brian Tumwinebiaruhanga, UBC News.
We'll now take a short break and return with much more. Stay with us.
Metu Bus Industries, Namamve, the manufacturers of buses for transporters, schools, tour operators, and special purpose vans and any customized vehicle. Metu Bus Industries offers a range of buses known for safety, comfort, and reliability. Depending on your needs, a bus can simply be a point A to point B people mover with just seats, or a special design that includes power outlet, Wi-Fi, television, refreshment center, and any other specification. Buy your buses from Metu and support industrialization of Uganda. Contact us on 0788 118586 or 0782 030303. Email us metuafricabus@gmail.com. Visit our website www.metubusafrica.com.
Amos Wekesa is a spirited and devoted advocate and champion for Uganda. His never-ending optimism, curiosity, and passion for all things Ugandan can be felt in every tweet and interaction. Amos also puts his money where his mouth is by investing in domestic tourism so that people get a feel of what Uganda has to offer. Amos, a grateful nation thanks you. You are unstoppable. MTN, the Unstoppable Network, celebrates you. Visit GreatLakesSafaris.com and together, let's support Ugandans like Amos who are driving our country's unstoppable progress.
Have you packed more of it Harbour jelly and Harbour foam? Yes, we packed. It will protect your skin from skin rashes. More of it packed. It is a new improved more of it Harbour jelly. So soft and smooth. It is a more of it Harbour jelly.
Tell me, kids, the scent. Any irritations? No more rashes and irritations. Movit Herbal Jelly and Herbal Soap is rich in natural herbs for a smooth and glowing skin.
Movit All Day Confidence.
At Timex Nutrition Center, we advise you on the right foods to eat, exercise profile to adopt, and lifestyle strategies which are compatible to your blood group and genotype. This empowers your body to prevent and treat many diseases like diabetes, blood pressure, arthritis, ulcers, obesity, and many others. For more information, find us at our head office in Kampala on Nassa Road, Conrad Plaza, 2nd floor, or call 0758 819 952 or 0778 288 361. We also have other branches in Bara and Jinja.
Metu Bus Industries, Namamve, the manufacturers of buses for transporters, schools, tour operators, and special purpose vans and any customized vehicle. Metu Bus Industries offers a range of buses known for safety, comfort, and reliability. Depending on your needs, a bus can simply be a point A to point B people mover with just seats, or a special design that includes power outlet, Wi-Fi, television, refreshment center, and any other specification. Buy your buses from Metu and support industrialization of Uganda. Contact us on 0788 118586 or 0782 030303. Email us metuafricabus@gmail.com. Visit our website www.metubusafrica.com.
Welcome back from that break, and this is News Tonight here on UBC TV. On sign language, it is Elizabeth Nakakoni, and I am Rukidi Kijjanangoma. Let's have a look now at business news. And Uganda Broadcasting Corporation has presented a budget framework paper to the Parliamentary Committee of Information, Communication and Technology. And the corporation's managing director, Mr. Winston David Agaba, says UBC requires 65 billion shillings for both development and recruitment and recurrent expenditure. Now, the committee vice chairperson Tony Ayo pledged commitment towards UBC funding, urging the leadership of the national broadcaster to ensure value for money.
Because fake devices is just more cost.
The questions from members of parliament were quite many. Some were on the nature of programming, while others were on the status of UBC land.
Do we really need the OB van in this age and era? Can't we borrow ideas from other industry players onto how they are able to send feed from different areas?
What is the marketing strategy of UBC to fit in this competitive market?
UBC has lands all over the country that are very large enough in order to do anything, but within a shortest period of time, to my own opinion and imagination, I'm seeing that these lands are going to have problems because the others are not released.
Kampala Central Legislator Muhammad Nsereko was specific on the picture quality.
There is no justification whatsoever, and you should tell us now, where is the problem, as to why the picture quality of private TV stations should be better than yours.
These questions coming just shortly after the managing director had just presented the budget requirements for the national broadcaster.
We need to have free-to-air TV around the country. You'll believe that almost all your constituents watch TV via the pay TV platform. But if we have this satellite up and running and the other costs that we have listed here, then we can guarantee that 100% coverage of the country can have free-to-air TV where people do not have to subscribe. And we believe that is that's a big leap that we all ought to be taking.
He and other technical staff took time to respond to the concerns by MPs. These also included the fate of UBC property scattered across the country.
All the other private TV stations, most of them,
as part of sabotage,
go through our platform at Kololo. And they cannot have a better picture than ours, since we're the ones carrying them.
That's what we also want.
Yeah. So that's why I was wondering which platform you are watching on, because you see the pay TV platforms, what they do to carry UBC, other private stations actually are paying them money. But for us, we don't pay them. So they intend to keep compressing our picture.
They have got an uplink in Kulambiro. Their capacity is full. So when UBC lost our satellite capability, when we couldn't pay for satellite, we now sent our signal from Kololo to Kulambiro so that they uplink it themselves. But previously, we were sending it directly via satellite.
To us, there is no donation of land because in the President's letter, it is clear. Let UBC enter into lease agreements with them. So both Dakabela and Namatala in Imbale, that was purportedly given to the small-scale industrialists, we are in court. We put injunctions on all the encroachments that are threatening to happen. And we believe that we are going to secure UBC land.
The committee, led by its vice chairperson, Tony Ayo, pledged support towards UBC.
You take them seriously, you work on the areas we have talked about, and then we see again how we move forward with them as we serve the country. So I want to thank you for coming.
But how much is UBC looking at as its budget in the next financial year, and for what?
Our budget will come to a tune of about 65 billion, and that will be development and recurrent. Looks at the development of infrastructure, the development of our buildings, new studios. Then the recurrent is the everyday costs. Programming is very expensive. We need to package nice programs. We need to pay our utility bills, umeme, water.
UBC, Uganda's national public broadcaster, was established by an act of parliament and is mandated to inform, educate and entertain. Henry Okrut, UBC.
Now, security has been tightened at the Waise Taxi Park after two factions clashed over leadership. Now, this follows the swearing-in of the appointed interim chairman Rajab Mukasa, which has prompted Francis Semakade's faction to attack them, accusing them of seizure of power.
Disputes have been raging among taxi drivers and operators at Waise Park, with several clashes on leadership between the two factions. The two factions are between Chairman Francis Semakades and interim Chairman Rajab Mukasa Smart, with each side accusing the other of bad management. Monday morning, drivers who subscribe to Mukasa Smart, who had been appointed as the interim, have been preparing for the swearing-in ceremony. No sooner had they started the ceremony than Semakade's faction intervened with the placards, chasing away Mukasa's supporters. A class ensued, followed by verbal exchanges, which prompted police to deployment. The fight escalated and the military police was prompted to come in. Those they found were whisked to the nearby police. In the same scuffle, police arrested Semakade and later was taken to Kawempe police station. Kampala Metropolitan Police spokesman Patrick Onyang confirmed the incident and the arrests.
There was a bit of commotion at Boise Tax Park, but there was a meeting. There was a security meeting that was held recently at the park, at Boise Park, where it was agreed that another meeting should be held. And in this meeting, the RDC of the area, Commander Kampala Metropolitan Police, and officials from KCCA to attend. And when they attend, they will have to resolve the issue that is affecting the park. As we are still waiting for this meeting to be called, we were surprised today when one party, instead of waiting for the meeting to take place, one party came and wanting to take over the park.
Boise Park remained cordoned off by the security. I'm Ivan Juko for UBC.
To courts of law now, where Nakawa Chief Magistrates Court has issued a warrant of arrest against Martha Nkwanzi Katanga, daughter to the deceased Henry Katanga. Nkwanzi Katanga and Molly Katanga, the wife to the deceased Katanga, are to face charges of murdering the late Henry Katanga. We have more in this story.
Nakawa Chief Magistrates Court is handling the murder case of businessman Henry Katanga before Magistrate Arias Kakoza. The three accused persons out of the five, Patricia Kakwanza, Dr. Charles Sotai, and Georgia Manyuri, have appeared in court. However, Molly Katanga, wife to the deceased, and Nkwanzi Martha, daughter to the deceased, have not appeared in court despite court's orders. Senior State Attorney Jonathan Mwaganya led prosecution and asked court to issue a warrant of arrest against the two. Prosecution's prayers were objected to by the defendant's legal team, saying the accused persons are critically sick. Molly Katanga is receiving treatment at IHK Hospital, while Nkwanzi is still undergoing home post-labor treatment.
Yesterday, the DPP received a report from the experts from the Ministry of Health, because the DPP requested the Ministry of Health to set up a team of experts. 5 of them were set up. They went and for 3 hours they reviewed A1 at IHK. And that he told me the contents of the report was that the patient still needs treatment.
Medical documents and a report from both hospitals were tendered into court, and a report from the Ministry of Health confirming the health status of Molly Katanga. Prosecution did not object to Molly Katanga's allegations, but refuted Martha Nkwanzi's allegations.
Summons are a command that can only be dishonored for good reason. Somebody went in a medical facility over a month ago and received a medical report of the headaches and abdominal pains that she had then, among others, cannot be used as a sufficient ground to explain the disobedience.
Magistrate Arias Kakoza agreed with prosecution to issue a warrant of arrest against Martha Nkwanzi, but extended Molly Katanga's criminal summons.
This court will not wait until it's convenient for her to come and attend court. So this court will issue one of the arrest in this prosecution of number 3.
Court has also extended to hear the bail application of the 3 suspects who are on remand.
This file was called on Friday evening in High Court under criminal revision number 1 of 2024.
Court resumes on 22nd January 2024. Businessman Henry Katanga was murdered On November 2nd, 2023, at Mbuyachwatu Road, Nakawa Division, Rebecca Natongo, Deborah Namamonde, UBC News.
Tugabane bigi tugabane, share with your loved ones tugabane. Gabula tulita gwesamula festive season eno tugabane. Pepsi Mountain Dew Mirinda, twalira ko jajja mu kyalo tolinda. Drink at home on Christmas, you can even keep some for Boxing Day. Tugabane bigi tugabane, flavor for your loved ones tugabane. Big meals ne memories sabula festive season eno tugabane. Grab a Pepsi hamper of any 2 liter of your choice and get a free Pepsi Max 330 ml. Share the cheer this festive season with Pepsi. Tukabane!
It's super fast internet. Oh, it's a super camera. It's a super battery.
Fun battery phone.
Yeah, it's a super deal. Get the Capote Super from MTN now at a reduced initial deposit of only 49,000 shillings and pay the balance in Pola for as low as 833 shillings per day. Grab this Super Capote deal and get 2 GB of free MTN data every month for 8 months. Get the Capote Super now from any MTN shop countrywide. Everywhere you go, MTN. Regulated by UCC.
The key founding members of NAM. The founding members of the non-aligned movement were prominent leaders like Jawaharlal Nehru of India, Josip Broz Tito of Yugoslavia, Kwame Nkrumah of Ghana, and Gamal Abdel Nasser of Egypt. These figures played an instrumental role in shaping the movement's early vision. Their collaboration during the Belgrade Conference in 1961 was rooted in a shared commitment to charting an independent course for their nations amid the intensifying Cold War.
Welcome back. Now, Uganda Investment Authority targets the NAM and the G77 plus China summits in Kampala starting on the 15th to the 23rd of January. Uganda Investment Authority Board Chair Maurice Rwakakamba told UBC that Uganda will showcase several business and investment opportunities, as we hear in this story.
In 2024, Uganda Investment Authority prides having won awards in 2023 and ranked Best Investment Destination and Best Investment Catalyst in the world. The board chairman, Morrison Rwakakamba, wants the achievements to be used to talk business and take maximum advantage of the two summits.
The way we structured that was that as these government top-level delegations come, they come with business people, they come with prospective investors, and we are setting up a shop there in Munyonyo where we're going to be engaging. We're going to have a business forum where we're going to showcase Uganda's potential.
Last year, over $10 billion of foreign direct investment was recorded, with already established investors targeting reinvesting into the country.
There has been expansion in terms of investment in the ICT sector, but also most importantly, manufacturing of fast-moving consumer goods, from soap, to toilet papers, to toothpaste, all these things that we use to import. And we are also seeing more investment coming in from the pharmaceutical sector.
The January 17th summit has been earmarked for investment agencies of East Africa to highlight the investment opportunities available.
Business people or investors are very scientific, okay? They are not emotional. They follow numbers, return on investment. And once they look at the numbers, once you set up business in Uganda and the ability to access market, not just in Uganda, but within the East African community, or access under the African Continental Free Trade Area, 1.3 billion people in Africa, ability to navigate that market, but also export to the European Union under the rubric of the everything else but arms, quota-free and duty-free. investors look at those numbers and then they project. That's
the subsequent hosting of the NAM Summit on the theme Deepening Cooperation for Shared Global Influence, and the G77 on the theme Leaving No One Behind, scheduled for January 21st to 23rd, 2024, emphasizes Uganda's diplomatic standing. Nasali Fatia reporting for UBC News.
Sports news now, and Uganda's team to All Africa Games due in Ghana in March 2024 is taking shape, with the sport of table tennis confirming its 8 participants. Now, this was after a 2-day table tennis extravaganza that has climaxed with some interesting results.
Nine-year-old Joseph Sebatindira has proved to the world that his triumph at the global level was no fluke. This after earning a berth on Uganda's table tennis team that will contest at the 13th Africa Games in Ghana, March this year. Up against 15 others at the MTN Arena Lugogo, Sebatindira earned his place after finishing a descent. Jonathan Senyonga finished first, Samuel Nkunda second, while 11-year-old Sharif Nsereko, who is Sebatindira's blood brother, took the final slot.
A 9-year-old boy and an 11-year-old boy as seed 3 and seed 4 of the Uganda men's national team. These things, they will need them in the future for especially assistance with sponsors. In Birmingham, we took the youngest player called Jemima Nakawala to Birmingham. And then the other one was Pavin Nangonzi. Jemima was 12. She was our Birmingham baby over there. And then there was Jemima 13. And now in Ghana, Sir Joseph and his troop, his battalion soldier, Sharif, they are going to Ghana. This is amazing. This is the first time it has happened in the history of Uganda, and I must say it is thanks to the work of my sister Mary and those wonderful coaches.
In the women's category, 16 ladies took part, climaxing with Jemima Nakawala, Pavin Nangonzi, Shanta Namara, and Amina Nampera booking tickets to Ghana. Uganda Table Tennis Association is optimistic this team made up of many teenagers will excel, but this year, after ample preparations. Uganda won a bronze medal in table tennis at the 1995 All-Africa Games held in Harare, Zimbabwe, with a team comprising of legendary Paul Mutambuze, George Iga, and the late Katerega Francis. The 13th Africa Games were originally scheduled for August last year in Ghana, but postponed till March 8th. Uganda has taken part in the games since 1965, amassing 87 medals, including 22 gold and 21 silver medals. The nation's best performance was in 1973 at the Lagos Games that ended with 12 medals, 6 of which were gold. Sports like wrestling, badminton and chess have won silverware, but it's boxing and athletics that are standing out for the Pearl of Africa.
Our sports reporter Amon Ngabo with that story there. Now, 6 days to the prestigious Africa Cup of Nations in Ivory Coast, we highlight some of the nations that will spice up the tournament. South Africa and Tunisia, both strongholds in African football, with big heritage in terms of pedigree, as well as Tanzania, our East African representatives at the Games.
The anticipation of the excitement of the upcoming 2023 African Cup